Hi and welcome. I'm Julie Herman of Jaybird Quilts, and as requested, this is a tutorial on how to bind 120-degree angles. Many of my quilts feature 60-degree shapes, which end up leaving you with 120-degree angles on your quilt. Most of them are usually like this for projects such as rock candy and gazebo, but then other things like quilts like this one, which is science fair, also have the inside 120-degree angles. So I have my machine set up, and normally I would sew my binding on with thread that matches my binding, but I have dark thread today just to be able to show you what I'm doing. And I'm just gonna jump in. So this is 2 1/4 inch binding. Some people like 2 inch, some people like 2.5. I prefer 2 1/4. The actual size of your binding does not matter so much as how you sew it on. I have found with these angles, the success of what they will look like in the end is all tied to the first part, how you sew it on by machine, more so than anything later on. So normally I'd begin somewhere in the side, but we're just gonna start up here. And I have my 1/4 inch foot. Some people prefer to sew their binding on with walking foot. Mine has a little sensor system. So do whatever you're used to doing for binding. And the biggest difference is normally when we get to this corner, we flip 90 degrees out this way. What we're gonna do is we're always gonna go opposite of where we want to go. So we're gonna go up like this to create a straight line here. And then we're gonna fold down. So I'll show you. So let's get started. Okay, let's get my thread out of the way. That's what stiletto's for. Okay. And I want to sew until I get to, if I drew a diagonal line right the middle of the point here. Some people find it handy to use a chalk marker. So we're gonna sew. And I've done this enough times that I can eyeball it, but if you haven't, chalk marker can definitely help. And then I'll do a couple stitches back. Okay, then I'm gonna pull it away, and you can either trim or you can just leave it, but you see I sewed, and I sewed till I got to what would be a point if I drew in here. So now what I wanna do is take this and I wanna flip it up. And I want this to be a straight line here. And then I'm going to flip it back down. So I'm gonna have a little piece here like you usually do. It's a little bit smaller than you're used to with a 90 degree, but very similar. And then we're just gonna go back underneath the machine and hopefully not be in reverse. And so, and then we're gonna continue that process till we get to the next point. Now, if you're doing something like gazebo or rock candy, you're gonna have 6 points like this. So you'll do all 6, you'll get to your last flat side, join your binding strips together, and you'll be good to go. But if you're doing something like science fair, I wanna make sure you know how to do that as well. So for our inside ones, what we wanna do is we wanna be able to stretch them a little bit. So we're gonna snip about 1/8 of an inch in. Just a tiny, tiny little bit. Make sure you don't snip in too far. And we're going to sew all along here till we get to the middle point of these 2 pieces. And I'll show you a trick what we do when we get there. So let's back stitch here. Then we're gonna do our same fold, which is up, straight line away, then back on top of ourselves. So we have that little fold there. And we're gonna turn. Get our little extra piece of thread out of the way. Okay, so I'm gonna sew at a normal pace until I get to probably about 1 inch away from that point. So now I'm gonna slow down, and what I wanna do is I basically want to make this V as straight as possible. So I'm gonna kind of use my left hand to gather it and my right hand to pull it towards being a little straighter. And I'm gonna sew till I get to, and this is another good opportunity to either mark you know where it is with your stiletto or mark with a chalk marker. We're going to sew till we get to that point. I think I'm right there. And then we're going to pull this around to this side, do an extra stitch or two in place, and then we're going to move our way up this side till we get to the next corner. So I'm going to take it off to show you what it looks like so far. Okay, so we've done 2 outside corners and 1 inside corner. And when we go to flip, we're going to end up with the same similar type of miter that we get with a 90 degree. It's just a 60 degree version of that miter. Same thing here. And then for our inside one, we're just going to wrap it around. And sometimes you get a little bit of a bubble. It's kind of unavoidable. If you use bias, sometimes you can stretch and get less of a bubble. But usually you'll end up with some type of bubble there, but not too bad. And then you just continue. After we go ahead and sew this on, the next step is to wrap it around and clip it. And I find that proper clipping is really going to help you to keep these nice mitered corners and get everything to look as good as possible. So I use Wonder Clips, and what I'll start doing is along the straight parts, and I will stick a clip or two. And I will admit I have a lot of Wonder Clips, and I am what one would call a heavy clipper. I find the more the better, and I often also clip a project the night or two before I plan on doing the hand sewing, and that way it kind of has some muscle memory, and it will stay a little bit more as you pull the clips off and as you begin to sew and do the hand sewing. So as I mentioned earlier, this is just a test for you guys. So normally, obviously, you would have the rest of your binding all finished, but just imagine that I have it on everywhere. So once I get all my straights parts done with the quilt top facing me, I'm going to flip it over to the back. And I'm going to take my time. Sorry, those are my clips. Take my time to do some proper clipping here. Now, this is a tip that I use with either 120 degrees or 90s, which is you have, if you look on here, you have excess bulk on this side and not on this side. So on the back, I want the excess bulk to be on this side. So kind of an example is if I go this side first and then this side, all the bulk is to the left. So I'm going to do my left first and then my right so that my bulk is split. So I'm going to pull that over and pull this over and keep kind of finagling it back and forth till I get that nice 60-degree angle. And then I'm going to clip right on it, and I'm going to look back at the front, make sure that I'm good. And as I said, the more clips the better, especially at the corners. So let me show you that again. So we're going to give a little tug here and a little tug here to make sure it wraps around well. And we're going to start with the side that has bulk. So we're going to wrap that side first. Then we're going to wrap the other side. And if you get something like that, you've got too much tucked under. And if you get something like that, you don't have enough tucked under. So you want to get just the right amount. Take your time to get that miter correct. Put a clip, check the other side. It looks good. Now, the inside curves, as I mentioned, you'll get a little bit of a bubble, and you'll have less of that if you use bias. I wasn't using bias here. But what we want to do is we just want to pull it as much as we can and put one clip and another clip. And you can see there's less of a bubble now than there was. And when I do my hand sewing, I want to make sure, I'm going to use my thumb to kind of pull this down and in as far as possible, because that will cover up all of my seam here, and it will make sure to have as little of a bubble as possible. So go ahead, and I will generally clip often an entire quilt. At minimum, I will clip an entire side that has all types of corners like this, and hope that helps you guys with your 120-degree angles of binding. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments when you're watching this video. Thanks and have a great day.